bacon. So you know, to each his own. But definitely one of the largest corporations in the United States back there at Procter & Gamble. Hundreds of tons of home goods products. So definitely a lot of stuff going on in those buildings. Now there's a statue of a guy at the end of this park here. I know you all are going to recognize him through the trees here on the left. Who is this guy? What's he missing in that statue?
His hat.
Abe Lincoln missing his hat and his beard. In that statue, Abe Lincoln is portrayed without his hat and without his beard. And that's not inaccurate. He stood in that spot when he was campaigning for the presidency back in 1860. And at the time he was... Hold on a second. There's a guy hiding behind the car here. We're going to quack at him. Oh, he's not hiding. He's talking to people. I thought he was trying to hide from us or something. Like he saw us coming and was going to hide. I'm like, that ain't going to work. But anyway, Abe Lincoln, young, immature, nobody took him as a serious candidate. Wouldn't even give him a place to stay that night in a hotel room. So a political advisor of Lincoln's noticed this and suggested that in order to appear more serious and mature, more presentable candidate, that he start growing a beard and wearing a hat. It's quite good. These guys are giving us a little wit. So obviously the idea works, since of course Lincoln was elected president. But as you guys can tell, I'm not a very serious and mature tour guide. So I guess if I wanted to reverse my reputation, I could start growing a beard and wearing a hat. Do you guys think that'd be a good look on me? No, it's too hot anyway. What about Cam? Do you think that'd be a good look on him? No, me neither. I don't need anything to make me look bad. Yeah, and you're digging yourself a deeper hole. Alright, now you guys, check out this maroon building right over here to your all's left, right in front of you. This is the University Club, one of the most prestigious, millionaires clubs in the city. Now, up until the 1985 or 86 or so, this was for men only. Now, at that time, they realized there's not enough male millionaires in the city to keep our membership up, so they went to allow women as well. And now, just 35 years or so later, 75% female. So an interesting little fact about that club. But of course, I guess if you're a member there, you'll never see me there. I'm in college. Yes, ma'am. Are you asking what this building here is?
The boat.
Oh, the boat there? Yeah, an interesting thing about that, that's copper. So that is what oxidized copper looks like. So eventually the Underground Railroad Center is going to look like that sailboat that you saw there. Let's back at the road crew. You know what happens, when you got a road trip going on, and sometimes, it's in a busy section of town, we'll put a police officer there, like with flashing lights, so everybody goes, oh, I can't speed through here, there's a cop. So to keep the road crew safe. So, but of course, they do pay a police officer to sit in that spot all day. So I decided, without doubt, that has to be the most boring job in the world. To sit there and watch a road crew work all day. So I definitely try to quack at anyone that applies to those guys as well. Let's quack at this bald guy over here. How's it going, sir? Got a nice lunch there? Where'd you go for lunch? Excellent, excellent, excellent. Now, before we head back across this bridge into Kentucky, any questions about anything? I know I've talked about a lot on both land and water, but any questions about anything that we've seen? Was that a question you had, young lady, or are you just stretching? I use that excuse in class, too. Yeah.
Why did they call it the city, and where's the king city?
Okay. She's asking, why do we call Cincinnati the Queen City, and then where is there a King City? I don't know where there's a King City. Do you know of a King City, Ken? I don't know of a King City. There are multiple theories. I'll get you in just 1 second. There are multiple ideas as to why we are called the Queen City. The one I like to believe is because of the riverboats that were in the area before there were planes, trains, and automobiles. You have a lot of riverboats with a very similar name to it. You've got the American Queen, the Delta Queen, the Mississippi Queen, the Island Queen. A lot of these riverboats spent a bunch of time here in Cincinnati. So that is why I think we're called the Queen City. There are other theories, but I think mine's the most correct one. But so definitely, to the best of my knowledge, there's no King City anywhere. Seattle is in King County, but it's too rainy in Seattle for there to be a king there. Young lady, did you have a question for me? What do you got for me? Are we going back in the river? The largest river in the world? In the United States? Probably the Mississippi, yeah. which is only like 470 miles that way. So, you know, start swimming. You can get there in a few weeks or so. 430? I was close. Okay, excellent. But no, you can go down here and you can take the Mississippi River all the way down to New Orleans, and then you can end yourself up out in the ocean. So, nice little network we got there. But anyway, any other questions at all? Good questions, guys. But anything at all that you guys see? What do you switch? The Peace Mill? Well, I'm sorry? Yeah, we'll be there in just a few minutes. So anyway, back into Newport, Kentucky now. Pretty interesting sights and some histories of the city, which I'll be talking about as we're driving through the blocks here in Newport. But the first thing I want to talk about is something that happened a really long time ago. Before we had the cool flood walls that you see today, this city very prone to catastrophic flooding. In 1937, we had ourselves a very amazing flood. We reached 80 feet above the riverbed. To give you an idea where this is, check out the stone church there. There's a diamond on the steeple. That line right above the diamond is 80 feet above the riverbed.
Wow.
You can see it from the side here in a minute. I know Ken was speaking up and we had to, yeah, that line right above the steeple on that church there. That's 80 feet above the riverbed. So if you can imagine how much of the three riverfront cities here were underwater. All right, now up here on the left here, you got the Newport World Peace Bell, and it's getting ready to ring, so I'm going to be quiet once but never mind, it's quitting ringing, never mind.
That's what we did.
Yeah, you're right, it would. So, but there's Newport World Peace Bell. It is the largest free-swinging bell in the world. It weighs about 66,000 pounds. To give you an idea how much that is, about 3 of these ducks fully loaded with passengers and fuel. Now, the first time it rang, you could hear it from 25 miles away. It shattered the glass surrounding it. It was setting off car alarms, shaking storefront windows, and in all honesty, guys, the peace bell was disturbing the peace. There we go. Good laughter on that joke. I usually have to threaten you guys with something on that joke. But anyway, so they replaced the clapper on the inside. Only about 10% as loud as it used to be. And that's bulletproof glass surrounding it, so if you're ever in a gunfight with your friends, that'd be a good place to hang out. Although it was pointed out to me the other day, if your relationship has reached that point, they probably unfriended you on Facebook. So, so you know, whatever. Now, check out some of the names of the clubs behind us to the right. You see the Newport Syndicate, that pink building there. You got the Gangsters Dueling Piano Bar. Pretty common theme here. These are all vestiges of a very dark side of Newport's history. Now, from Prohibition up until the 1960s, Newport was the gambling capital of the United States. So before Las Vegas even existed, it was just a desert nothing. Newport was where all the gambling in the country was going on. Now, if you're interested in this side of the city's history, which I'm not going to elaborate on, especially with the kids on board, some of it's definitely PG-13. But there is a gangsters walking tour of the city you can take. It leaves every day around dusk, and you're going to walk around to some interesting sections of the city where you're going to see places like where the Tommy gun was invented. You're going to see, where all the dons of the mob used to meet and discuss alcohol and gambling policy. You're going to see some of the famous shootouts and whatnot. Some really interesting sides of this city's history that you'd never find on any kind of tourist brochure. Captain Ken.
Well, I just want to take this opportunity to thank everybody for boarding the Duck. I know I speak for Trace also when I say we appreciate your business, certainly enjoyed your company. I would ask you to please remain seated on the Duck until I get it back to the station, completely stop with the ladder down for you. And also there'll be a young lady down here in a gold shirt. Her name's Olivia. She'll have your photographs. Of course, you got something in your hand that you don't know about yet. So just going over and take a look at that. Also, if you think Trace did a good job, please let him know. Tips are appreciated for a job well done. Again, thank you so much for riding the Duck, and I look forward to seeing you again.
As Ken said, thank you for riding with us today, guys. Sure, I've enjoyed your company. You guys have been a fun group. Good questions, good fun. But also any comments, questions, concerns, don't hesitate to ask us on the way out. We'll be happy to answer them for you. Have a safe trip back, doing whatever you're doing the rest of the day, and going wherever you're coming from. And of course, have a safe trip again to see us in the future. One more time. Who's your captain?
Hey!
Excellent, excellent, excellent.